We're so sorry, Uncle Albert. There's a town in southwestern Minnesota called Worthington, and over 20 years ago they started promoting an annual windsurfing music festival. I've had the good fortune of being present for many of those years. I've become intimate with what the town is about, how it welcomes and accepts diversity, finding the worth in all humans. As the family farms have disappeared to large corporate operations and as wages were squeezed by a few large meat packers, the town received a wide variety of immigrants and refugees willing to do the work. I suspect not everyone was willing to embrace newcomers given the uncertainty of the times, but today it's hard to see the resistance to this incredible component in the town's success. It seemed like a community that watered the seeds of compassion rather than one putting up barriers, watering the seeds of fear, greed, and the closed mind. Over the years, I've come to know so many wonderful people with such a deep sense of civic responsibility for the welfare of the town. Whether it was for the children or the elderly, or for those of us briefly visiting the town for the festival, they made us feel worthy. Perhaps one of the greatest ambassadors for the town was Albert. When I first met him and expressed kindness, I suspect I prided myself in being a do-gooder. We're so sorry, for this middle-aged man who smiled all the time, who didn't match the norm of the typical Midwestern encounter. He didn't stay superficial with the talk of the weather or the sports, and he didn't try to persuade me to think like him. He never pushed politics or religion. He didn't express frustration, fear, or a sense of victimhood. I was in the presence of a man who obviously had reason to complain. I suspect he had more body pain and more mental anguish from people's reaction to him than I could imagine. Yet, every time I met with him, his smile was massive. No complaint. No complaint. Whenever I was talking with him, I don't recall his diminishing response of, "Oh, I know that." No, in a day and age where there's far more people just wanting to hear themselves talk, where the loudest voice in the room seems acceptable, he was so present to the moment that I often felt a little uncomfortable. He had the innocence and openness of a child with the presence of the divine. Albert left his body a few days ago. I'm now a senior, becoming more aware of the inevitable death of my body, of aging, of the experiences of injury and disease, and the reality that one day I too will say goodbye to all my stuff, to all my relations, and yet my real comfort comes from the example set by Albert. I suspect he knew that it's the results of our actions that live on. His kindness, his lack of judgment, and his dedicated attention when in the presence of others. That's burned into my awareness today. Some have said that love can be defined as full attention without expectation. Our willingness to just be with each other, needing nothing but the appreciation of each other for our shared experience and the celebration for the gift to participate in this wonderful thing called life. Some say it's just normal to be dissatisfied and we want that, but we got this, we'll be happy when or be happy if. And the more we feed this, the more we feed the complaint, the blame, and the victimhood, the more we suffer. Like so many of our great spiritual teachers have said, let go of the attachment and the growth of the pain and see how you suffer less. Albert showed me how to take the next breath and smile, no matter what. He expressed his gratitude for the day and shared his consequent abundant smile. Sometimes I can't help but wonder if this is heaven once I take the blinders off and step into nature. It seems our arrogant desires to change others, to fix them, to push our agenda with a willingness to cause harm would evaporate once we come closer to living as though this were our heaven. People like Albert, they deepen my curiosity. He may have been one of the more highly evolved humans I've ever met. He may have been a manifestation of the divine. In any event, his no complaint, kind smile will live long after he has shed his body. We're so sorry, Uncle Albert. We're so sorry if we caused you any pain. We're so sorry, Uncle Albert, but there's no one left at home, and I believe it's going to rain. Hands across the water for Albert. Hands across the sky.